Hi there, happy Sunday. It is, it's the 8th of July, 2012. And I wanted to show you what I bought. You see that? That's the for sale sign. It's going to go on my husband's truck. That's pretty exciting. Um, and then I think I'm going to use box tape on the little white part. So these are like $1.50. I'm sure you can find them cheaper somewhere, but in my little town, $1.50. So I think I'm going to use clear tape and write on it and then peel it off and reuse it because we're going to be selling some more stuff. So that was my exciting purchase. For sale sign. Yay! But I have a question for you guys. Actually, I told you that I was doing a 2-week menu rotation. And I got it all done, and my husband and I sat down. Let me show you the little sheet that I made to plan a 2-week menu. Tell me if you think this is cool. If you can see it. I'm sorry, I'm always backwards. Oh, can you see that? There we go. Goodness, I'm sorry. So I did it week 1, week 2, the days of the week down this side. And then the breakfast I did right under the days of the week, because I figured if you do, and this is breakfast and lunch, you can see lunch and dinner. Did I say breakfast and lunch? I meant lunch and dinner are the two big squares, and then breakfast is a little square underneath. And I just figured you could have the same breakfast for each, twice. Like on Monday, have the same breakfast. But breakfasts weren't, I don't plan those like really strictly. I guess lunch is probably not so much either, but you have breakfast food available. I just wanted to make sure I had enough to at least cover 14 days. So, but I made that little sheet and it really did help because my husband and I sat down and we made out a list of 14 meals that we would want to have. And then I plugged them in to the schedule, and I actually did it in a way that would allow me to use like burger, make a meatloaf and then brown some for tacos and go ahead and season it and throw it in the freezer. So I planned it so that I was able to do some pre-prepping for some other meals. And I'm sorry, I'm kind of like weird today. So we planned out all these meals, and a couple of the nights were like pizza night, where we're going to do either homemade or frozen pizzas, and so that would have been like a Friday, and that would have been for both weeks. So some of these meals, the meals that we came up with, actually covered 2 nights, because I'm trying to figure out a way to save money, save trips to the store, and save time, because I can shop. We have a couple grocery stores in the town that we live in, but they're considerably more expensive because we're in a smaller town than stores in the bigger towns. And so we have a larger town that's not too far away. I'm going to say it's like a 20 or probably a 30-minute drive from here. And that's where like our Sam's Club and stuff is too. So, and we just went and got a Sam's Club membership. We'd had one years ago, and then we just never got down there. And we weren't on a budget then either, so it probably didn't matter to us if we had it or not. But we recently went and did some price checking, and some of the things that we bought, kept telling my husband the whole time we were walking through Sam's Club that I was like sick to my stomach because I realized how much money we had wasted shopping in our local town, buying some of the same things that we could have bought at Sam's Club for a fraction. And I was just like, oh, the money that I've wasted. And he's like, well, it's okay, now we know. And so, you can feel better. I felt better knowing that there's a way to save money, but just knowing how much money I'd let go down the drain just for convenience sake was like, ugh. So, I was trying to think of a way to save some money because e-meals, is good, but like Christine on Dead is Dumb, which is one of my favorite YouTube channels. That's a good family to watch if you're trying to budget and do the Dave Ramsey thing. Emails for just dinners can run, depending on what meal plan you get. Mine was just the Walmart regular. And their meals are starting to get up there, like some of them are like $86. And that's not horrible at all compared to what a lot of people are spending on meals. But when your grocery budget is like ours, where it's like $100 a week, that has to cover breakfast and lunch too. And that's where I was struggling. And then Christine and Dead is Dumb had mentioned that they were doing a 2-week menu. And the reason they stopped doing e-meals was for that very reason. And so I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to give it a shot then too, and see if I can save some money that way also. But my question for you is, has anybody tried doing a frozen meal plan? And what I mean by that is I recently, like in the last month, have become addicted to Pinterest. I hadn't even been on there, and I didn't really understand the hype, and then I figured it out. But I have been on there recently looking more at recipes, and I have found a lot of really good plans for people who basically shop once and they cook once and then they eat for like a month or a couple weeks, whatever time period you want to frame it out. And then there's some really awesome recipes where you throw like chicken and vegetables and seasonings in a Ziploc bag, and you write on the bag how to cook it or throw it in the crock pot or whatever. I think freezer meals have really come a long way, as I have a freezer meal cookbook that's good, and I've used it a lot, but I think the freezer meals have really developed. I think more people are budget conscious, and so this has been an area that's been like improved on greatly. And I'm just wondering if any of you do this. Do you go shopping and buy a lot of things in bulk and then come home and have like a day of prepping meals for the freezer? That seems like it could be very cost effective. And I have really thought, now that I've got my 2-week menu plan all done, now that I've got it done, that's when I would decide maybe I want to try something different. So I'm good like that. But also I found some really good recipes on Pinterest too that are cheap to make and look like they would be really good. And so I'm like, maybe I should already revamp some of my recipes, because my husband and I were just trying to think of things that maybe were inexpensive. So we had like burger night and then meatloaf and different things, and you don't want to mix it up too much because you don't want to have to buy a ton of different stuff. So I'm just wondering if any of you have tried using a freezer meal menu. And I guess that doesn't even mean every night your meal's in the freezer. That just means spending like $130 and being able to completely stock your fridge with meals. And that would include like breakfast burritos and things like that you can throw in the freezer and then have to cook. So if you have any advice on that, anyone, and if you've done it, I would appreciate if you'd let me know what you think about it, if it really is cost effective and if it works well for you. Because I'm really trying to think of a way to slice our grocery budget as low as I can without feeling like we're eating the same thing every night and we're swearing off dining out for a while. Our pizza nights would normally have probably been like either a Pizza Hut or a local restaurant around here, but I think we're going to do the old homemade or frozen variety for now, because we really need to save some money. So if you have any advice on this, I would appreciate your comments, and any questions that you have, or if you haven't subscribed, do that. So talk to you guys later. Bye.